Hello everyone, welcome back to the session. So in today's class we are going to discuss about vitamins. So in the previous classes we have completed the enzyme and enzyme kinetics, and in today's class we are going to discuss about vitamins. So what is vitamins? How can we define vitamins? So vitamins are organic compounds required in small quantities for normal metabolism, growth and health. So you should know that vitamins are not going to synthesize in our body. Definitely vitamins has been taken in the means of diet. And why this vitamin is important for our body? Vitamins are required only in smaller quantities. We don't need vitamins just like carbohydrates, lipids and proteins, but you should know vitamins are also important, but it is not that much important when compared to carbs, proteins and lipids. Vitamins are required only in smaller quantities. And why these vitamins are important? For normal metabolism, growth and health. Okay, so this is also important. Without a proper vitamin, it also leads to deficiency. Even though it requires in a smaller amount, it also, if in the absence of those vitamins, it leads to deficiency, right? And you should know that vitamins do not provide any energy, but acting as a coenzymes or regulators in metabolic reactions. So what do we have discussed? Vitamins are necessary and vitamins are required only in a smaller amount, and vitamins are required for normal metabolism, growth and health. So these are all the things why vitamins are important for. And also you should know, so vitamins are important, but they are not providing any energy, but they are acting as a coenzymes or regulators in the metabolic reaction. So you all people know what is mean by coenzymes, cofactors and enzymes. So all those things have been clearly discussed in previous classes. Kindly go through it. Okay, right? Now required in trace amount. So just now we have discussed in trace amount means smaller quantity. Vitamins are required in a smaller quantity. They cannot be synthesized sufficiently by the body except some like vitamin D, K, biotin in small amounts. See here, these vitamins cannot be synthesized sufficiently by the body. So this is the first point I have explained you. Vitamins are not synthesized in our body in a proper amount that has been taken in the diet. And some of the enzyme has been synthesized, but that too not in a sufficient amount. So we have to take in our diet. So if there will be no proper vitamin has been present in our body, then it leads to deficiency. And if there is a vitamin deficiency, definitely it leads to specific diseases. Now we are having different types of vitamins. So generally based on a solubility, we can classify vitamins into two types of vitamins. So based on the solubility, whether it is soluble in water or not, based on the solubility we are classifying this vitamins into two. One is fat soluble vitamins and another one is water soluble vitamins. Fat soluble and water soluble vitamins. So those vitamins which are soluble in water, we are calling them as a water soluble vitamins. Those vitamins which are soluble in fat, we are calling them as a fat soluble vitamins. Now vitamin B and C, they are coming under the water soluble vitamins, and vitamin A, D, E and K, so all these vitamins are coming under the fat soluble vitamins. So these are all the types of vitamins. Again we are having different types of vitamin B complex, and we are going to see all about those vitamins. See here, so now we are going to discuss about this fat soluble vitamins. So in the fat soluble vitamins, what are the vitamins are coming under the fat soluble vitamins? Vitamin A, D, E and K. So these are all the vitamins which are soluble in fat. And what are all the general properties of the fat soluble vitamins? The first important thing is, as the name suggests, it is soluble in fats and oils. So this will be the important property. So that's why the name fat soluble vitamins. Obviously the properties will also be like that only. Now it absorbed with dietary lipids. So it has been absorbed in the means of dietary lipids. In the sense what? Whenever we are taking the diet, lipid diet, okay, lipid food, in the means of that lipid food, all these vitamins are entering into our body. Now it's stored in the liver and adipose tissue. Always the lipids will be stored in the liver and below the adipose tissue. So these are all the area where the lipid is getting absorbed, and if, even though it is a fat soluble vitamins, all those vitamins is also stored in the liver and the adipose tissue. Now its deficiency develops slowly. So immediately there will be no vitamin D, we didn't give any of the symptoms, but as the days goes on, if a prolonged no exposure to the vitamin D, definitely it leads to certain disease like rickets and osteomalacia. We are going to discuss about the deficiency of vitamins, but know that the deficiency of all these vitamins will also cause any deficiency of vitamins, they are also grow some symptoms. Now the excess of this vitamins is also leads to toxicity. Always all these vitamins are required in a trace amounts only, so we don't need all these vitamins in excess. So if excess of all those vitamins leads to toxicity, again hypervitaminosis. So this is also an important point. So these are all the general properties of the fat soluble vitamins. Now what are all the vitamins which are coming under the fat soluble vitamins? Again vitamin A, D, E and K. Now vitamin A, this is also called as the retinoid. So this vitamin is also called as a retinoid. So this can be expected in our exam. What is important? So we are having vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E and vitamin K. All these vitamins are having some other name and their functions, and if the deficiency of that particular vitamin, what will be the name of the deficiency, and if there is a deficiency, what will be the symptom of that particular vitamin deficiency. All these were the questionable area. Just listen to this picture. So this will be the structure of this vitamin A, that is the retinol. Okay, so vitamin A, which is also called as a retinol, what will be the structure of this vitamin A, and this will be the structure. Why the name retinol? Retina is the area, it is the part of, it is the structure of an eye. So you should know this vitamin is very important for a eye, for a retina. So that's why the name retinol. So this will be the structure. If there is a deficiency of vitamin A, it leads to a deficiency. The name, it is called as a night blindness. So this will be the deficiency of vitamin A. Now just see here, rhodopsin. Rhodopsin is the name of a cell which is present in the retina. So when this is the one converting the light energy, bathrhodopsin and lumirodopsin, and it is the one converting into metarhodopsin 1, and it will be converting into the metarhodopsin 2, and in the scotopsin again it will be leads to the so see here, we are having a rod cells and cone cells in the retina. Rod cells and cone cells in the retina. So this rod cells is very important to differentiate the black and white color, and the cone cells is responsible for differentiating the colors, Vibgyor colors, violet, indigo, all those colors have been differentiated in the cone cells. So we can say in the daytime cone cells will be activated, in the night time rod cells will be activated. So if there will be no vitamin A, there will be no involvement of all these things. The light cannot be differentiated, and in the night time, after 6, whenever the sunset, after the sunset, we can't identify what is going on. Our eye, the power of eye is not that much efficient. So that's what a night blindness. So during the night time we can't see anything, so even though our eye is open. So this is what our vitamin A is doing. Now cataracts and night blindness, so caused by a limited amount of light that enters the lens due to the cataract. So cataract is nothing but it's like a fog which cover our eye vision. Vision of eye has been covered by a smog or fog, whatever it is. So as the fog has been covered the entire eye, the light will not penetrate into our eye. So as a result, we can't differentiate any colors, we can't see anything. So that's what, there is a limited amount of light that enters into the lens due to the cataract. So this is also an important thing, the deficiency of all these vitamins. Now what will be the chemical form of this retinol? Retinol, which means in an alcohol forms. Though if the name ends with OL, it is nothing but an alcohol. If the name ends with an AL, then we are calling them as an aldehyde form. And oic acid, again acetic form. And provitamin, and this is what we are calling them as a beta carotene. So this is very, very important. Beta carotene is pigment which is present in the carrot. So that is why when doctor usually says that to eat carrot to have a better vision. Okay, why? Because of this beta carotene, it is a provitamin. So this is the vitamin which is present in the carrot, and the beta carotene which is acting as a provitamin which is required for our vision. So this is why doctors use and keep on saying you to eat carrot or fish for a better vision. Now what will be the function of this vitamin, that is vision, that is rhodopsin formation. See, rhodopsin is an important cell which is important to identify the colors that has been formed with the help of this vitamin. So this is why this vitamin A is important for the formation of rhodopsin. So that's why the name retinol, as it have an immense function in the eye. Maintenance of the epithelial cells. So epithelial maintenance is also done with the help of this vitamins. Now growth and development and immune function. So these are all the other functions apart from the eye. Now what if the vitamin A is not present in our body in a proper amount? It leads to night blindness. So the night blindness is technically called as a nyctalopia, and xerophthalmia, keratinization of epithelium. So because the epithelial cells formation is also done with the help of this vitamin A, if there will be no vitamin A, definitely there will be the keratinization of epithelium, xerophthalmia and night blindness. So all these were the deficiency related to the vitamin A. Now where we can get this vitamin A? Where we can get the vitamin A? So that is in the liver. It is not the human liver, it is the goat liver or some other livers. So we can get the vitamins. And butter, we can get a vitamin A, and egg yolk we are having a vitamin, and carrots we are having a vitamin A, and green leafy vegetables. So in all these food diet we are having a vitamin A. So if you are having an eye not having a proper vision, you can include all these things in your diet. Now see, when it comes to an exam point of view, which will be a questionable area. So retinal combines with the opsin. So retinal combines with opsin together we are calling them as a rhodopsin in rod cells of retina, right? Now next vitamin, so the fat soluble vitamins we are discussing about. So in the fat soluble vitamins we are having vitamin A, D, E and K. So we have discussed about this vitamin A, and this is a vitamin D. So vitamin A is also called as a retinoids, and the vitamin D is called as a calciferol. So calciferol, what will be the metabolism of this vitamin D, how it has been intake by the body? See, with the sunlight is a major source of providing the vitamin D. Okay, so those who are having no vitamin D, their bones will not that much strong. So that's why doctors usually say always, whenever at the time of a sunrise, just go there and have some sunlight in the it's a starting sun ray. It's not in the mid sunlight, right around 12 o'clock, 12 p.m., 1 p.m. So this is not a proper way of getting the vitamin D, but instead in the early sun ray. So that is the proper way of getting a vitamin D. So now see here, vitamin B. So vitamin B, UVB. In the UV rays we are having a vitamin UVA, UVB, UVC and all there, and this UVB, and this is the one pre-D3, and this is converting into a D3, and it has been absorbed like this. Okay, in the liver, in the kidney, now in the intestine the calcium is getting absorbed, and in the bone the mineralization, which means the calcium is stored in the bones. So that's what a mineralization. Okay, if any minerals will be accumulate in one particular area, that process is called as a mineralization. So this is how the vitamin D can be acquired by the body. But apart from the sunlight, do we have any other way to get a vitamin D? Of course, by eating a mushroom. For a mushroom cultivation, definitely there will be the involvement of sunlight, so it is also having some of the vitamin D. So that's why eating mushroom is a indirect way of getting a vitamin D, but it's not equal to getting a sunlight anyhow. So this is what the formula for this structure of this vitamin D, that is calciferol, and we are having a ricket types. If there will be no proper vitamin D, it results in the ricket. It results in the deficiency. That deficiency is called as a ricket or astomalacia. Rickets in case of children, astomalacia in case of adults, if there will be no proper vitamin D. So this is how the normal bone will look like, and if there will be a ricket deficiency, it will be like this. Okay, so vargus and valgus. Vargus means it will be wider in nature, and valgus in the sense it will be very narrower. This is how bone structure will be if there is a deficiency of vitamin D. Now, how can we form this vitamin? How the vitamin D is getting formed? See, vitamin D2, this is called as an ergocalciferol, and in case of plants, we are calling them as the ergocalciferol. In vitamin D3, this is in case of animals, we are calling them as the cholecalciferol. Right now, how this all these vitamin D3, D2 all is getting activated? See here, in skin, 7-dehydrocholesterol, this is the one converting into cholecalciferol, and in the liver, 25-hydrocholecalciferol. In kidney, 1,25-dihydroxycholecalciferol. This is what we are calling them as a calcitriol. So this is what an active form. So finally, the kidney is the one converting into an active calciferol. Now, what will be the functions of this vitamin D? So the vitamin D has a function which plays an important role in calcium and phosphate absorption in case of bones. In bones, the calcium and phosphate has to be absorbed. Only then the bone will be strong. So for that purpose, this vitamin D is very important, and also for the bone mineralization, just by accumulating the calcium. Now, the deficiency. What if the vitamin D deficiency is there in case of any person? It results in a deficiency which is called as a rickets in case of children and astomalacia in case of adults. So this is what a deficiency. So what are all the sources we can get this vitamin D? So what will be the source? The first and foremost source will be the sunlight and fish liver oil and egg yolk. Egg yolk is the bestest source, and fortified milk. Fortified milk means what? In the milk, if we biofortification, that process, so we are voluntarily inserting the vitamin D in the milk. That's what a fortified milk. So we can get all these sources. Now, vitamin D, this is what the third fat soluble vitamins. Vitamin E, it is also called as a tocopherol, and this will be the structure of the tocopherol. Their structure will be C29H50 and O2. So this is what a vitamin E, that is tocopherol. See here, this vitamin E is very, very important in coagulation of blood. So, blood coagulation, how we are going to see about that. Blood coagulation, very, very important. So we are going to see about that, right? See here, food supplements. In the means of food supplements, we are taking a vitamin E, and this vitamin E has been taken by the intestine. So in the intestine, the vitamin E1 is the one converting into chylomicrons. So this chylomicrons is the one involving in lipid transport, fat molecule transport, absorption of lipids. So the chylomicron is the one absorbing the lipids, and it has been given to wherever it is necessary. Now, chylomicrons, with the help of this vitamin E and the LPL HDL, which means LDL HDL in the sense high density lipoprotein and low density lipoprotein. So see here, now the low density lipoprotein and high density lipoprotein. So for in the lipid transport, this chylomicrons with the help of this vitamin E are involving. Which means what? For the see here, if for our body oxygen is also important, blood is also important. So only if the blood reaches to all the cells, all the cell will receive an oxygen. So like in the same way, all the cells are all in need of a lipid also, because all the cells cell membrane is nothing but a plasma membrane which is made up of a lipid bilayer. So all the cells which are in need of a lipid. So how all these lipid has been taken to wherever it is necessary? It is not through blood, it is through the chylomicrons with the help of this vitamin E. So that's why we are saying this tocopherol is very important for the transport of this lipid. And I have said that blood coagulation, it is not. Okay, blood coagulation is for the vitamin K. We are going to see about that. What will be the major functions of this vitamin E? That is major antioxidant. So major antioxidant will be this vitamin E. Protects the cell membrane from oxidative damage. If there is any oxidative stress, this vitamin E come into picture, and this is the one preventing the oxidative damage. And also it is the one maintains the reproductive health. So these are all the functions performed by this vitamin E. Now if there will be no proper vitamin E, what will be the deficiency? And it leads to hemolytic anemia and neuromuscular problems. So these are all the problems if there will be no vitamin E. And what are all the sources through which we can take the vitamin E? Vegetable oils, in oil, nuts, seeds, wheat germ. So all these we have a source of this vitamin E. Now vitamin K. So this vitamin K is also called as the phylloquinone, menaquinone. Okay, so this phylloquinone, menaquinone, which is also called as which is the other name of this vitamin K. And this will be the structure. Here the carbon will be 31 and hydrogen will be 46 and oxygen will be 2, just like in vitamin E. See here, this vitamin K is very, very important for coagulation of blood. Say for an example, accidentally we cut our hand and immediately there will be a loss of blood. So we have said that the platelets are the one involving in coagulation of a blood, and besides the platelet, vitamin K is also very much important for the coagulation of a blood. See here, what are all the symptoms? If there will be no proper vitamin K, what are all the deficiency of vitamin K? If there will be no vitamin K in sufficient amount in our body, it leads to certain deficiency. What are all the deficiency? Easy bruising or bleeding. Okay, there will be easy way to bleed, and increased risk of nosebleeds or bleeding gums. Nosebleeds and bleeding gums. These are all the thing you have to know that your children are in deficiency of this vitamin K. And blood in urine or stool. In the urine and in the stool, they often come across they often notice the blood. So that is the vitamin K, the deficiency. Heavy menstrual bleeding in women, again there will be the deficiency of vitamin K. Oozing from cuts or wounds that take longer to stop. So if we have a cut, immediately after certain seconds to minutes, it has to coagulate. If no, it is taking some more time to coagulate. It is taking more time to arrest the blood flow. So you should know that you are in deficiency of this vitamin K. And weakened bones of increased risk of fractures. For the bone strength also, this vitamin K is very, very important. Now what are all the functions of this vitamin K? See here, blood clotting. As I have mentioned you before, for the clotting of blood, this vitamin K is very important, and this vitamin K is required for the synthesis of this prothrombin and factors 7, 9 and 10. So prothrombin, factor 7 and factors 9 and factor 10. So for the synthesis of all these factors, we are in need of vitamin K. And if there will be no proper vitamin in our body, it leads to hemorrhage and bleeding disorder. So these are all the deficiency. And where do we can take this vitamin K? In the green leafy vegetables. So that's why doctors usually keep on saying that take one green leafy vegetables per day. It is mandatory. and intestinal bacteria, and for the intestinal bacteria is also providing vitamin K. So that's why you have to take curd on a daily basis. In a curd we are having a many lactobacillus bacteria, and it is a good gut bacteria, and whenever you are taking all those things, the bacteria, the good bacteria which is present in your gut, they are also producing some vitamin K, and that vitamin K is providing a goodness to our body. So that's why you always have a conscious whatever you are intaking. So whenever you are taking a good food, even you are not taking very healthy food, even you are not taking very healthy food, if you take very good food, not a bad food like junks, good food, then automatically everything will be done by this gut bacteria in the means of good diet. Now, so that's all about this fat soluble vitamins. Now comes the water soluble vitamins. So in the water soluble vitamins, we are having a vitamin B and vitamin C. So that is what a B complex vitamins and vitamin C. Now what are all the general properties of this water soluble vitamins? As the name suggests, the first most important property will be it will be soluble in water, no doubt about that. That's why the name water soluble vitamins. It not stored significantly, just like a fat soluble vitamins. So fat soluble vitamins, we have discussed that it has been stored in adipose tissue or in the liver. In water soluble vitamins, it is not stored in anywhere in our body. In excess, if we intake the excess vitamin, it will be excreted in urine, and if its deficiency develops quickly. So that's why we have to take this vitamin on a daily basis. Now there will be no toxicity generally. Now, see, these are all the B complex vitamins. Definitely you have to memorize the chemical name of all those vitamins. See here, the vitamin B1. Vitamin B1 is also called as a thiamine. Vitamin B1 is also called as thiamine, and the coenzyme form will be the thiamine pyrophosphate. So that's what TPP, thiamine pyrophosphate. So always the vitamin will be in the form of thiamine pyrophosphate. And what will be the function of this vitamin B1? This will be involving in function of this decarboxylation. Wherever in our body, if any reaction is involving in decarboxylation reaction, which means the carbon has to be eliminated in that particular reaction, that's why we are saying that reaction as a decarboxylation reaction. So at that reaction, definitely we are in need of this vitamin B1. If there will be no vitamin B1, it leads to a deficiency, and that is called as a beriberi. Now vitamin B2, it is also called as a riboflavin. That is what flavin FAD dinucleotide. Yes, flavin adenine dinucleotide if I am not wrong, and flavin mononucleotide. So flavin. So that's why the name riboflavin. And what will be the function? So the function done by this vitamin B2 is redox reaction. That is redox reaction in the sense if any reaction is undergoing a reduction reaction or oxidation reaction, that's what a redox reaction. So on that reaction, we are in need of this vitamin B2. If there will be no vitamin B2, it leads to a deficiency. Then it is called as the chylosis. Now vitamin B3, and it is also called as the niacin, and this niacin is very important for this the coenzyme form of this vitamin B3 is NAD and NADP plus. So this is what a coenzyme form, and this is also is involving in the oxidation and reduction reaction. If there will be no vitamin B3, it leads to a deficiency called as a pellagra. Now vitamin B5, it is also called as a pantothenic acid, and their coenzyme form will be this CoA, and this involving in the acyl transfer, acetyl CoA, which means this CoA is involving in transferring the acetyl group. So that's why the function is acyl transfer. And if there will be no vitamin B5, and the deficiency will be very rare. Now see here, vitamin B6, it is also called as a pyridoxine. Pyridoxine is also called as vitamin B6, and the coenzyme form of this vitamin B pyridoxine will be this PLP. So this will be the coenzyme form of this pyridoxine, that is B6, and this is the one involving in amino acid metabolism of this amino acid. If there will be no vitamin B6, this leads to a deficiency which is called as a dermatitis. Now vitamin B7. So the chemical name of this vitamin B7 is biotin, and the coenzyme form will be the biotin enzyme complex. And what will be the function? It is involving in the carboxylation reaction, and if there will be no vitamin B7, again it leads to the deficiency which is called as a dermatitis, just like a vitamin B6. Now B9. So this B9 is also called as a folic acid, and folic acid, the coenzyme form will be the THF. And this folic acid, the function of this folic acid will be one carbon transfer. They are going to transfer one carbon atom. Now this, if there will be no vitamin B9, this leads to a deficiency which is called as a megaloblastic anemia. And final most important thing will be vitamin B12. This vitamin B12 deficiency will be usually experienced by a vegetarian peoples. So usually this vitamin B12 will be present in the non-vegetarians, and usually those people which has been a shift from non-veg to veg, that people will significantly affect from this vitamin B12 deficiency, as they are changing in their diet. So usually the vegetarians are in deficiency of this vitamin B12 only. So that leads to a pernicious anemia. And what will be the function? RBC formation. Very, very important. For the RBC formation, this vitamin B12 is very important. And what will be the coenzyme form of this vitamin B12? That is methylcobalamin. And the chemical name of this vitamin B12 will be the cobalamin. So this table is very, very, very important, and don't miss out this table. Right now, see here, the same thing, what are all the things we have discussed in the table, the same thing will be present here also. And what do we not discuss in the table, I'll explain only that. Again, I don't want to stress on the same thing again. See, vitamin B12, thiamine, the coenzyme form thiamine pyrophosphate, and the function will be oxidative decarboxylation. And its deficiency, beriberi we have studied, and Widenski-Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome. This is also a syndrome if there will be no vitamin B1 in our body. And where do we can get this vitamin B1? Whole grains, legumes, and in the pork. Now vitamin B12, again these are all the same thing, and glossitis is the another deficiency if there will be no B12. And in the milk, eggs, green vegetables, so in all these where we can get the vitamin B2. Now vitamin B3, niacin, their function is redox reaction metabolism. We have studied this. And their deficiency is pellagra, that is dermatitis, diarrhea, and dementia. 3Ds. This can be expected in our exam. Okay, where do we can get this vitamin B3? Meat, fish. Those who are not a meat eaters, we can get from the peanuts. Now vitamin B5, it is also called as a pantothenic acid. So we know that, and the deficiency will be burning feet syndrome, which means burning feet. The feet will be leads to a burning, and this all due to the vitamin B5 deficiency, vitamin deficiency. Now vitamin B6, again the deficiency will be dermatitis, convulsions in the eye, and the anemia. So this is also important for the neurotransmitter synthesis. So where do we can get, what will be the source? Just identify that. And vitamin B7, biotin, hair loss. Okay, so this is what we didn't discuss in the table. And in the raw egg white contains avidin, which binds with the biotin. So this can be expected in our exam. So that's why I highlighted. And vitamin B9, again the same thing. And its deficiency, it leads to neural tube defects in fetus. And the source will be green leafy vegetables. So that's why don't skip any greens. Those you can see the green vegetables, don't hesitate to eat, just eat with a lot of love. Okay, that's why you can get maximum number of vitamins. Now vitamin B12, cobalamin, their functions we have discussed, and the source, that is animal products only. So that's why I am saying in the vegans are not meat eaters, and they are not they don't also prefer animal based products, not even a milk, curd, So that's why we can see vitamin B12 deficiency in the vegetarians or in the vegans. Now see here, this vitamin B12, this is present only in the animal products. So there is no other go. We have to face that. Now vitamin C is also called as the ascorbic acid. So we have completed a B complex vitamins under the water soluble vitamins. Now we are going to discuss about the remaining leftover part of the vitamin, that is vitamin C. It is also called as the ascorbic acid. This is very important for our teeth strength, teeth. Okay, this will be the structure. And for collagen synthesis, very important. So this is an amino acid which is the one responsible for fibroblast. Again, it is a protein, isn't it? So this for the formation of this protein, this vitamin C and enzymes plays a crucial role. Vitamin C is very important. Only then the collagen will be complete to form a collagen fiber. So to formation in the collagen, definitely we are in need of this vitamin C. Now see here, amino acids, group of amino acids forming a peptide, and together we are saying there will be a formation of a gelatin, and the gelatin, group of gelatin, we can call them as a collagen. And what will be the functions of this vitamin C? Collagen synthesis, just now we have studied, and wound healing. Take one amla every day, every problem will be solved. Vitamin C. Collagen synthesis, wound healing, antioxidant, iron absorption. So this vitamin C plays a crucial role. And what if there will be no proper vitamin C in our body? It leads to scurvy. And what is meant by scurvy? What will be the symptoms? Bleeding comes and loosening of teeth. There will be no proper teeth, weak connective tissue. So this is what a deficiency. Citrus fruits, those fruits which are in a like tamarind, so we can the citrus for lemon and all the citrus fruits like orange and different varieties of orange, we can take that amla. This is the best source of taking the vitamin C. Citrus fruits, tomatoes and green vegetables, so all these things are the source of this vitamin. Now in an exam point of view, what will be the important thing? See here, see in case of fat soluble and water soluble, what will be the major differences? So fat soluble will be stored and water soluble will not be stored, and the toxicity is not rare in the water soluble vitamin, and it is possible in the fat soluble vitamin because it is stored, right? Now, and the deficiency onset will be very slow. Immediately there will be no vitamin A, immediately we didn't find a symptom, slowly it will grow. So that's what a slow onset. Water soluble, it will show a rapid reaction. Now excretion, this fat soluble will not easily excreted, as it is water soluble, it will be easily excreted in the urine. So these are all the major important one-liners for our exam. Now look at this. These are all the important one-liners. Vitamin A, vision. Vitamin D, calcium metabolism. Vitamin E is the best antioxidant. And vitamin K, need for a blood clotting. Vitamin B1, beriberi. Its deficiency, beriberi. Vitamin B3 deficiency will be pellagra. That is 3 Ds, dementia, dermatitis and diarrhea. And vitamin C, scurvy. Vitamin B12, that is pernicious anemia. Only vitamin contain a cobalt, that is vitamin B12. Very important. Only vitamin synthesized by skin, that will be D. So all these are the important exam point of view one-liners. Now, so I guess all the most of the information regarding with the vitamins have been completed in a short span of time. Just coming to the question, the active form of vitamin D. So which will be the active form of a vitamin D? That is none other than this calciferol. Now, calciferol. Which vitamin contains a cobalt? Which vitamin contains a cobalt? That will be vitamin B12. Pellagra is a deficiency of, that is vitamin B3. Avidin binds with which vitamin? Avidin which binds with the vitamin 7, vitamin B7. Rhodopsin usually contains what? Whether it will be the retinol or retinal or retinoic acid or keratin, which means thus retinal. So that was the which is present in the rhodopsin. Coenzyme A is derived from, obviously that will be the C option, that is B5. Scurvy results from the deficiency of vitamin C. Now, which vitamin is essential for blood clotting? And that will be vitamin K. And THF is derived from B9, that is the folic acid. And night blindness is caused by the deficiency of vitamin A. So this is how the question, we can expect a question from the vitamins. So don't miss out this topic. Thank you so much. We'll meet you in next class.